Arey, my Jalsa. Arey, I forgot even today the Larmendi song. You guys were doing time pass in chat box. You could have posted this, no? Someshwar, welcome. Welcome to my paradise. Arey, Vidhi, I swear, yaar, matlab, I don't mind, na. Okay, next time. So yeah, good morning, all of you. Good to see you all. If possible, please switch on your cameras, guys. I'll just share the screen with you. We are going to start another interesting topic today. As you all are aware, in the last lecture, we have completed the chapter number 3. Correct? Hello, Sai. Okay. Oh, Jay. Jalsa, bhai. Himanshu is saying you changed the house. Sure, I can do that anytime. Lot of money I have, which I have spent on internet. So internet can help me in buying any house right away without spending even an additional penny. Yes, Homeshwar. All right. So friends, the screen must be visible to you, right? Is it? Okay, fantastic. Now the chapter that we are going to start today is, see, I had an option between a very conceptual chapter and the other option would be a chapter which is easy to understand. Okay. So first one the I'm selecting is the conceptual one, is the more serious one. The purpose being towards the end of our syllabus, if we do little light, easy to understand. So we by heart and we retain that. Right now, if I teach you conceptual, you get some maybe extra 1 week to revise. Understanding the logic? Yeah. So that's why I'm doing that. That easy one chapter is chapter number 4, which I'm talking about. And the conceptual chapter that I'm talking about is chapter number 2. So if you look at size wise, no, when you look at the units, chapter number 2 is made up of 4 units. And chapter number 4 is made up of 5 units. But 2 is the lengthier one as compared to fourth one. So it is not about the number of units, it is about the content in the units, which is more in case of chapter 2, right? So that's the one we are going to start today, a highly conceptual chapter. So please give the heading in your notebook, students, take a fresh page. Public finance. Now, this particular chapter, friends, it is going to be divided into 4 parts. We are going to learn 4 different things here. First one, is fiscal functions. Second one, market failure. Third one, government intervention. To correct market failure. Fourth one is fiscal policy. So if you observe, these are the four topics, students: fiscal function, market failure, government intervention, and fiscal policy. We are going to follow the sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is how you have to study when you are revising. In fiscal function, further we are going to divide this into two parts. First part, role of government in an economic system. And second part is the functions. And in functions, we are going to see three different types of function. Allocation function, redistribution function, and stabilization function. Please copy this part. Done? I saw Imanshu. Done everyone? Has everyone completed this part? Okay. So now unit number 1, students, that is fiscal function, which is what we are going to start. It is divided into two parts. First one is role of government in an economic system. The other one is functions. Let's understand. You can give the heading unit number 1. Fiscal functions is one topic that we are going to start now. role of government in an economic system. Now see, in this world which is called as planet Earth, we all humans have divided everything. We divided the world into continents, continents into countries, countries into states, then into cities, suburbs, rural areas, villages, tribals. After that, it will be locality, locality. Then it will be area. Area is nothing but society. Then after society, it will be building. So we went on dividing everything, 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 and everything. Okay. Now, friends, after this division, we have made a mark. So, in this entire world that we have created on this planet Earth, or the country that we have created, our own, that country, the way the functioning of that country takes place, it is nothing but economy. So economy is all the buying and selling transactions in a particular country in a year that takes place. The totality of that will be called as economy, the functioning of the country. Now, when we talk about functioning of the country, this is not what humans know since birth. This has evolved, right? This has evolved. Earlier, we were following a system where we would kill anyone and we will take their property and make it ours. If you look at the past, in the history, what Aurangzeb did was the same thing when they invaded India. What different, migrants did when they came to India from other countries of the world, they did the same thing. And similarly, when Britishers also came to India, it was the same policy, correct? But this is not how an economy has to run. There has to be a system that we need to develop. And friends, when we talk about a system of running an economy, when we talk about a system for running an economy, so there are two types of system on which our economy can be placed. Either your economy can be a capitalist economy, or your economy can be a socialist economy, correct? So what do you mean by capitalist economy? Everything is owned by private sector. And socialist economy means everything is owned by public economy, that is public sector. So in capitalist, if you want to go by train, it will be private sector. Public transport will not be available. It will only be private transport. Water supply will be private. Everything will be private. And if it is completely public sector, then the clothes will be manufactured by the government. The salon will be owned by the government. Everything will be by the government. That's why we Indians said, yeah, we don't like this kind of system. Come on, yeah, this is very outdated. Right? And we Indians always trying to find out an easy way. Am I right? So we mix everything. Correct? No, am I joking or this is right? We were the first one to adopt this kind of economy. You are aware about it. We have set an example in front of the world. So the economy that we have created, it is nothing but mixed economy. So this is India's gift to the world. But this is not something which economists had expected. Let me tell you that. They said either you have to be a capitalist or you have to be a socialist. But we Indians, we always believe in mixing everything. right? Am I right or no? I'll give you a few examples to understand this better. Okay, let me help you with some examples so that it is very clear in your mind. uh, do you eat pani puri? You call it a pani puri only, no? Yeah. So because I was teaching in Delhi batch, and I told them pani puri, and they said, "What is that?" I said, "Yeah, you don't know pani puri? That's very dangerous." So then I came to know they call it as golgappa. Okay, so golgappa, pani puri, puchka, and when you go to when you come to Mumbai, okay, there are some people who will call it as water balls. Don't ever talk to them. They are criminals, right? How will it sound, no? Bhaiya, give me one water ball, please. Bhaiya will throw it on you. Oh, it is called as gupchup. This is new for me. Hmm. Pani patasa. Okay. In Telugu, it is called as gupchup. Okay. Oh, pani patasa, it is called. Okay. So, whatever name it is that, but ultimately it is pani puri. Am I right? Is it okay if I call that? Yeah, we can call that, right? Okay. So, when I talk about this pani puri, everywhere you go in the entire country, students, you will find these pani puri stalls, you will find these pani puri sellers. Now, everyone will ask you this thing, the seller, okay? Do you like sweet or would you like uh, the spicy one? What we do? Medium, medium, right? Mix, mix. Dangerous we are. Once I was in Coimbatore, and in Coimbatore, I am Coimbatore, Bangalore, all these places, I was amazed by the juice centers that you have. Many juice centers. We don't find that in Mumbai usually. So I was amazed by this. Chennai, I have not got much time to spend outside. That's why I cannot comment on Chennai. Every time I've come there, either it is for the lectures. I have been on a very emergency kind of lecture. Morning I land, evening I again go back, or I have come for lectures. Or I have come for seminars. So that's the only thing where I have visited Chennai. So I've not got the opportunity to explore it yet, but I'm very sure in the future I'll be getting that. Hyderabad, I have come and stayed a lot, right? So yeah, so Pani Puri, and similarly we have these juice centers. So once I still remember in Coimbatore, I was having one juice. Okay, so I went and I was standing there. Suddenly a boy comes, stands next to me, and he asks, "Do you have sweet lime?" Okay, in Hindi we call it as Mosambi, right? And then the seller, of course, said, "Yes, should I make it?" He said, "No, no, wait. Do you have orange, santra juice?" He said, "Yeah, I have it. Should I make that one?" He said, "No." Okay. Make mix. Orange Mosambi. Santra Mosambi. That means you don't want Santra or Mosambi, you want Sasambi. Now, what kind of creation is this? Our mind will be confused. What you are putting in your tummy, you don't know about it, Baba. And people are doing this. Everywhere you do mix, this is not good, no? Right? And if this was not sufficient, I will tell you more. In the entire world, people will say either they are rich or they are poor. In India, we say middle class. Correct? In the entire world, students, either the countries are developed or they are underdeveloped. We are developing. Now, what is this developing? Can you say I am passing? Either it is pass or fail, no? You cannot be passing, no? Last one, okay? In the entire world, when a boy proposes a girl or vice versa, okay, whatever it is, In India, we have this culture of boys taking the initiative. That's why I'm taking the example. So boy proposes a girl. In the entire world, either the girl will accept the offer or reject the offer. Yes or no. In India, it is different. I will think and tell you. Now, thinking takes months. And after that also, I love you, but just like friend. Now, this is very dangerous. Imagine we did the same thing with our economy also. Now, see, whatever I say doesn't mean it has to come from a personal life, okay? It can be a source of observation also. Now you are commenting on me. Experience. What do you think? From 6:30 to 9:30, I will be taking lecture. After that, I will go and listen to Arjit Singh song with a glass, and I will be sitting like this. Oh my God, she was awesome. Hey, come on, what are you expecting? So no experience, fortunately. Yeah, I know your side. So anyway, so we did the same thing with the economy. We have made a mixed economy out of it. When we were planning the mixed economy, ideally, what was the concept? Let me tell you that. We were thinking that we will take merits of capitalist and merits of socialist, correct? But ultimately, we ended up with demerits of both. That is where the problem evolved, unfortunately. Our first and biggest mistake as an economy. We should have taken help. Personal level, you should always seek help if you don't know something. We Indians are very hesitant, right? We think our self-respect will be hampered if we ask for help. Don't do that. When Steve Jobs came to know he no longer can handle the position of CEO, he took help from Tim Cook. When Flipkart came to know that they cannot handle the pressure which is from Amazon in the country, they took help from Walmart. When Oyo Rooms got to know that they won't be able to sustain the competition if they fight alone this battle against the Airbnb, they took help from SoftBank. Ola did the same. Maruti did the same. When they knew that they couldn't find the competition which is created in the market due to liberalization, they went with Suzuki. Right? Are you getting this, friends? Moral of the story, you need to take help at the right time. Kodak did not consider help out of market. Nokia was again and again given the help offer, but they did not take that offer. And ultimately, when they took from Microsoft, it was too late. Indian economy did this mistake. We Indians did not make the same mistake again and again. We need to learn from other people's mistake. That's one learning for us today in mixed economy. Now, friends, see, these are the three types of economy, but everyone did not accept mixed economy, no? See, everyone was not going for mixed economy, am I right? So, sir, what happened? Now, there was this gentleman whose name is Professor Adam Smith. Who was Adam Smith? He is also called as father of economics. Now, let me tell you, students, this is a strange way of these Britishers again to influence their power on economics also. They might be having father of economics, but let me tell you, he was not the first man to introduce economics to the world. The first man to introduce economics to planet Earth was Chanakya, Kautilya, and we call it as Kautilya Niti or Arthashastra. So he might be father of economics, but godfather of economics is Chanakya. Never ever forget that. Okay. And the strategies which were set by Chanakya in that era, if we learn that today, right? So it will make you a great leader. So just in case, if you want to know more about it, you can refer to any book, any book, or even if not book, you can refer to any, YouTube videos, maybe. Next. Now this gentleman, Adam Smith, who is also called as the father of economics, in the year 1776, in his book not Principles, Wealth of Nations, he has mentioned clearly that he is a bold advocate of capitalism. Now, what do you mean by bold advocate of capitalism? That means he will be adopting more of capitalist policy, would give preference to more of capitalism. Yes or no? He gave this theory in the year 1776, and Americans usually are just blind to all the new things. They just want to try, 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 try. So they said, let's try the capitalist economy also. So what happened after this? USA adopted entire capitalism. Now, students, if you go for capitalism, does that mean that there will be no government? No government at all? Even police will be private? Courts will be private? No, right? See, I will tell you. If you are living in a society, or if you have ever seen a commercial place, so that commercial place, all the offices will be private sector, yes or no? But to protect the security of that commercial place, they hire security guards, watchmen, who are sitting outside. That is the capitalist economy model, where all the capitalists will be doing the business, all the important roles and responsibilities will be handled by the capitalists, but they will just hire one security guard, which is called as government, who has to protect them, to maintain the law and order. That's it. Did this example work or worked? Okay. So the same thing was applied by the economy, that is US economy also. So at that time, the major role of running the economy was given to private sector, and only traditional functions were given to government. So government was made, but it was having only traditional functions. Now, sir, what do you mean by traditional functions? Just maintaining law and order, just how the security guard does. So, sir, what is the problem with this kind of economy? It is best only, no? I will tell you. When you go for such kind of economy, the problem is private sector needs only one thing, and that is what? profit maximization. Is that right? Private sector only needs profit maximization. So if they need only profit maximization, my friends, do you think the economy can survive like this? No. Why? See, if they need only profit maximization, that means they will go on creating more and more expansion in the economy. More of expansion in the economy by capitalism. That means higher level of employment. Higher level of employment means the production will go on increasing. If the production goes on increasing, that means the income will increase. But with exploitation. So income increases, no doubt, but there will be exploitation in the working environment also. Now, if income goes on increasing, that means the purchasing power goes on increasing. Now, if purchasing power goes on increasing, students, what will happen? If there is more and more purchasing power, what will happen? The price tends to rise. And because of increase in price, can I say there will be inflation in the economy? Now, this excessive inflation in the economy then will result into what? Then it will result into recession in the economy. The question here is why? Because see this, if there is excessive inflation in the economy, that means price will be high. People will not be able to afford this. Affordability will come down. If affordability comes down, sales will fall. If sales starts falling, that means the production has to come down. If production comes down, there will be unemployment. If there is unemployment in the economy, if the unemployment increases, that means there will be more of insolvency because companies will not be able to survive. Just think about it. If this is the scenario of any economy, do you think the economy will be able to survive? So this excessive recession will result into depression. And here the depression that we are talking about is the Great Depression of 1930s, which happened because people did not have the purchasing power to purchase because the prices increased by leaps and bounds. Done, friends? Understood this entire part? Now, this depression or recession which was observed in the market, friends, please understand. Why did it take place? Where did we go wrong in this entire economy? The only thing which went wrong, we gave the entire power to private sector. Correct, no? Now private sector will do it only for the profit, because they go on selling and selling till when people will buy. One day will come where people will say, thank you, I don't need this product. I'll give you a small example. Okay, maybe this works. Now students, you must have not seen this, but you right now see the television that is slim. But earlier we had this big CRT monitors. You must have seen that. And before that it was black and white TV. I don't know if you have seen that or no, because I had seen that in my childhood. You have seen black and white TV? Okay, some of you have seen it. Okay, so we are not having that much age difference. Okay, 1 or 2 years here and there. Okay. Okay. So Someshwar, same. What is your age? 18 years. So yeah, so I am also 19 and a half, so no problem. Huh. So now, when we are talking about the black and white television, okay. So in case of black and white TV, earlier when we were having this, when I don't know if you have seen this, but you can ask your parents. When they had this black and white TV, they used to keep a showcase which will lock the TV. Ask them today, okay, they will feel nostalgic. So black and white TV, earlier it was only one TV in the entire society. So all the people will meet on Sunday morning to see Ramayan, or they will meet on Saturday night to see DD. There was one movie on Doordarshan which would be played in the entire week. The life was very different. Then what happened? Then later on, one television at every floor. Then people started demanding more because the producers were producing more. So one television at every house, right? Now people had already purchased all this black and white TV. Now if they go on producing only black and white TV, the economy will collapse, because these TV companies will not be able to sell more, because people already have purchased that. So they said, now we need to dump all these black and white TV and replace it with color TVs. So all these companies now added colors to the TV and they created color television. It was sold, and everyone got it again. But there would be a time when everyone will also have color TV. After that, what? Then they came up with LCD TV, LED TV, smart TV, and what not. And today they have come up with curved TV. Right? The TV is curved. You can watch it. Guys, tell me one thing. Do you have curved TV at your home? No. Anyone in the class? Anyone? Any one person also? One. Okay. Okay. One you are having. Out of the entire class students, only one person has the curved TV. Why you did not buy? Be it curve or be it straight, flat, it is going to show the same thing only, no? Now, if you give, what say, curved TV, triangle TV, square TV, rectangle TV, hexagon TV, all this TV, we don't need. TV is ultimately TV. Now you have understood this. And if they don't change themselves, they will be making losses. That's why if you observe Sony, which was the top-notch company in manufacturing TV. Today, they are producing everything except TV. Of course, they are producing TV also, but they entered into cameras. They have entered into mobile phone also. Are you understanding diversification of business? If the market changes, that means you also have to change your business. Samsung, LG, earlier they were launching only TV, but today look at them. Washing machine, refrigerator, then oven and what not, mobile phones. You have to keep on switching, AC, correct. Friends, I'm scared to say this, but this is the fact. How many years these companies are going to sustain, we don't know. Because many companies in the past have been wiped off. Crown was a company, students, which was entirely focusing on television, out of market. BPL, out of market. Are you understanding this? Panasonic, earlier they were focusing only on TV. They found it a struggling time. Then they later on moved on to electronics. Videocon, primarily a TV company. They tried moving to other products, but it was too late by then. And then they started making losses. Today, don't you think Apple is also doing the same thing? How long can you fool anyone? That is what you need to wait and watch. You launched iPhone phone. Okay, that was an amazing thing. So you launched iPhone 1, iPhone 2, iPhone 3, iPhone 4, iPhone 5, 5S, 6. So what was happening, the mobile went on becoming more and more slim. The size increased. Every year the RAM increases, the hard disk increases, the camera quality increases. But we need to understand, students, iPhone 6s or iPhone 12X Pro Max does the same function. Are you understanding this? One of my student was saying Samsung has launched where they are having launched a phone where they are having total 5 cameras. At the back they have 4, in the front they have 1. I said, why do you call it as phone then? Tell them, no, it is camera with calling feature. Right? He was saying, sir, it is very high quality. What do you do with that high quality? Your face is not high quality. No, that's the problem. Let camera be anything. When people understand this mechanism that they are just increasing the price, some RAM, some hard disk, when they are more realistic, at that time, friends, even this Apple will suffer a great loss. These companies will collapse. That's the cycle that has to happen. When it will happen, that is just the wait and watch game. Right? Before 20 years, no one thought, right, Nokia will collapse. See, I'm not being pessimistic. I don't want Apple to collapse at all. This is just a strategy I'm saying. Okay. And I don't want personally Apple to collapse. For that matter, I don't want any company to collapse. There is enough for every person to prosper in the nation. I want all the businesses to be prosperous. But if they don't change the strategy and if they just go on increasing the price, because there are this is this middle class mentality who try to show off. See, rich class will never try to show off. For them, it is just any other phone. It is especially the middle class who buy a phone on EMI and then they show off. How can you show off a liability? Right? That's when we go wrong. Okay, by selling kidney, I know. Apple has said that they plan for 10 years in advance. Yeah, Revati, that's true. For 10 years next, how they are going to fool people? They have planned it already. So they will keep on launching. Now they are on 12, then they will come with 13, 14, 15, 16. They will go till infinity. Right? I don't know what next. But the beauty of this, we think we are using the latest model, but the model you are using is already outdated because they have already started working on something else. So we say, oh, this is the latest one, iPhone 12. Yeah, but an Apple company, they are already testing iPhone 13, possibly iPhone 14. So if iPhone 13 and 14 have come, so it is already outdated, no? Yours is already outdated. Right? So anyways, this keeps on happening. I don't know what is going to happen next. But sincerely, what I feel is after Steve Jobs, Apple has stopped innovating. This is what my personal opinion is, right? What phone I use? I use Micromax and Geophone. I am not a person who will spend too much on phones. That too, Samsung I purchased maybe 1.5 year back. I was searching for yeah, made in India. That's why I was searching for Micromax, but I did not get that time. Lava did not manufacture, so I searched for Samsung. It was made in India, so I purchased that. Now Lava has come. So if I plan to change, definitely it says manufactured in India. Very simple, basic phone. Yes, Rishabh. Now BMW bikes are also made in India. It is made in TVS. What's it? TVS factories. That's why. Even that has three cameras. I was not knowing about it. अरे हाँ यार. Amazing observation. I was not knowing my phone has three cameras. Can you guess that? Wow. Mm. No, no, Neeraj. Now they are manufacturing entirely. Danish, that's right. Apple spends the highest amount in research and development in the market. So, Apple spends, then all other companies, they just take the product. Sanskar, I already have it, Sanskar. In a survey, they have called the most heterogeneous company selling video. Heyman, that's correct. They go on, dumping all the outdated products into Indian markets. That's also true. Yeah, Sanskar, we can do that. Prestige is the reason. I agree, Shri. So now you understand this entire concept, right? Kushal has asked a very important question: how to replace iOS? I don't know. Like, it's very easy if you look at it, and if you don't accept, then it is a big difficulty. Apple is more costlier in India than other countries. Yes, of course, that because there are taxes that we have imposed, and it has to be. No, we Indian companies, we need more money. No, we need to support Indian firm. So we ask all the companies to come and manufacture in India. Come, most welcome. Pay less duty, create employment. Hemant is saying there is an organization working to replace iOS. It is called as Calyx OS. Okay, I was not aware about it, Hemant, frankly. So, anyways, everything has time. Who knows? The system. The system is going on shifting. I think there is one company which I came across which is working on the wrist phones. Right now we are having the mobile phone, but they are working on the wrist phones. Like, it will be just like a watch. It will be there. You can watch movies like this. You can, do the call. It will be directly connected. Then after 10 years, who knows, right? In the mind only, they will fit a chip. Okay. And in the mind only, they will be having. So when you blink it like this, the app will open. If you want to scroll, you will have to do it like this. And if you want to call, then it will be like this. Yeah. Right. So all these things are going to happen. It is future, friends. Let's see what is next. So one day would come when people will stop buying and it will result into the depression. I hope you are very clear in this logical part. Now, but this cycle has to end, no? Somewhere we have to put a stop on this. Do you agree to this? Because every now and then, if you go on suffering like this, because these are problems. Do you see the problems which I have written in the red? Affordability, sales were down, production was down, unemployment. See, these are not positives for the country, right? These are all the negative effect of our nation. If this continues for a year, imagine what will happen, right? We faced this for nearly 6, 7 months, probably in the last year. And look at our economy size, it contracted by more than 7%. Negative growth rate of 7%. Just 6, 7 months into this. Imagine USA suffered this for more than 10 years. That's why they call it as the Great Depression. Or else, if you see, it is grammatical error. There is nothing called as Great and Depression together. I was greatly disturbed. You are disturbed means itself, it cannot be great, no? I am royally poor. What is this? Right? Then how is us so successful as they following capitalist only? US so successful. Yeah, Danish, that's true. They are successful. But right now, the role and responsibility of the government has increased. Right? I'll give you a small example. Maybe this can help you in understanding this concept much better. 3 days back, my wife was very disappointed. Why? Because she was working on a project for more than 1 year now. Okay. And that project is called as Aon and Willis Towers Watson merger. Aon is one of the largest firms in insurance broking. You must have seen it on the football jersey, AON. And the other company is Willis Towers Watson. They are also the insurance brokers. They were planning to merge. Now, with this merger, Aon and Willis Towers Watson will become number one in the world, the biggest company in the world in insurance broking firm. Okay. So for more than 1 year now, I have seen her working like anything, like since morning to night. She will be constantly in touch with US people. Even in the corona, she had no other option but to travel to Europe, to US to get this entire process done. UK government, when they applied, okay, when she was handling this project, UK government approved this merger. But it came under litigation in United States. In US, they again applied for re-evaluation of the proposal and let them allow. They said even we are ready to sell some part of our business. Now, entire details are not required for you to understand, so I'll just tell you a basic part. They will sell a particular segment so that they don't create monopoly in the market. 3 days back, US government rejected the offer. Students, you won't imagine, there are hundreds of people who are working in this project, right? So she was completely shattered, because you don't know, like you have done so much for a project and then it doesn't happen. And it is not just any other merger. When this detachment was announced, Aon had to pay 1 billion US dollars to Willis Towers Watson to compensate for the loss that they might have incurred. Now, this is a first-hand information, okay? Now it is published on Google. I think you can check it later on the detailed report. So I told her, don't be disappointed. She said, I will leave only company. I don't want to work with mergers. That is the kind of impact that creates, when you are so dedicated in a particular task and it doesn't go through. Where moral of the story is, if it would have been a capitalist economy entirely, do you think this problem would have incurred? Now, US is taking very concrete steps. The government doesn't permit any company to just go for merger. What if they create monopoly? Understood this part? What does she do? She's into project management. She works for Willis Towers Watson. So her work is to bring work from high cost location to low cost location, from US, UK, or European countries to India, Philippines, and other low cost locations. But of course, she tries to bring maximum into India. Qualification. She has studied in UK. She has completed CII from there. Okay. So anyway, moral of the story is US government doesn't allow all these mergers just like that. If tomorrow Apple wants to merge with Samsung, it will not be allowed. Or else they will create a very big level of monopoly, which will destroy the entire market. I hope you are very clear in this, friends. Now, someone asked me why capitalism. So, same happened with Standard Oil, now known as ExxonMobil. Correct. So, now who introduced this additional functions? That also we need to understand. So now, because adopting only the traditional functions will result into the Great Depression. So there is one uncle whose name is Richard Musgrave. What's the name? Richard Musgrave. In the year 1959, in his theory of public finance, Richard Musgrave in the year 1959 in his theory of public finance introduced three additional functions. They are allocation function, redistribution function, stabilization function. So these were the three functions which were launched so that we never face this kind of depression ever again. Now, students, these functions are fine. Okay, we have this. But can you tell me now, because of introduction of government to the entire world, what are the government's roles and objectives in today's date? What are the objectives of a government if I ask you in today's world especially? Can you name a few government objectives? Bharat is saying social welfare. Sahil is also saying public welfare. I will take that. So social welfare, that is uplifting the backward class. Someshwar, that's an amazing point. Creating equality in the country. Maintaining law and order, better, that will be more of a traditional function, Lakshya. Say sustainable development, correct. To encourage new businesses. Sai, that's amazing. Okay. Okay, we are having Sai Krishna and Sai Pranit. Both of them have given the answer. So sustainable development. Then we have creation of employment opportunities as well, correct? More investing opportunities. Okay. Increase in standard of living. Okay. Promote entrepreneurship and innovation. That's right. Increase the level of productivity, fair competition. Correct. So these are some of the objectives which you have given me and I have listed here, students. You need to remember these. Okay. So moral of the story is, if there is only private sector, it will result into misallocation of resources because it will be done only for the profit purpose. Now, when I say misallocation of resources, the problem is that the common problem in the entire world is scarcity. Correct? Do you agree to this? Be it any country in the world, they always face scarcity. Now, when we talk about scarcity, in order to avoid scarcity, we need to answer these four questions very nicely. The four questions that you are aware of. First one is what to produce. Second one is how to produce. For whom to produce. And what provisions are to be made for economic growth. Okay, so please don't include where, how much, all these questions. It is what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, and what provisions are to be made for economic growth. Now, if these questions are left to be answered by private sector only, then what will happen? Imagine what to produce. They will produce only the products which are more profitable. If you give power to only private sector students, they will end up making only alcohol and drugs in the India, in the country. So government has to intervene and divert the resources in such a manner that we produce what we need and not where we have a higher level of greed. Right? Second one, how to produce. There are two ways of producing anything. Number one, it is capital intensive. Number one is labor intensive. Yes or no? If every power is given in the hands of private sector, friends, they will lead to only one thing, and that is capital intensive technology. Am I right? That's why we need government, so that they can incorporate the ideas wherein more of laborers can be hired. Imagine India using only capital intensive technology. There will be a very high level of unemployment in the country. Now, my view as far as unemployment is concerned is very different, friends. I don't think India is facing the problem of unemployment. I feel that India is facing the problem of unemployability. People are not unemployed. People are not worth being employed. We are a country, students, where people celebrate when they create, when they clear 12 standard without giving the examination. Is this something to be celebrated? You took so much of efforts so that you can study, you can give the examination, you can score marks, you can stand out in the country. But you are celebrating because the exams, the student community should have, protested this decision. Their future is uncertain because they are not certain about their future. Right? 10 standard students, I can still agree. They are school kids. They don't have so high level of maturity. I'm talking about people who are completing their graduation. When you are completing your graduation, what you are saying, Danish, after all, health first. So that doesn't apply to ICAI. See, either you have a result or you have an excuse. There is nothing else. If ICAI can do that, if ICSI can do it, why can't the board divide the board into 10 batches? Take 2 exams in one day, just like what ICAI is doing. Divide it, create more centers. You have money for rallies, you don't have money for taking examination. Take the fees from students, no problem. They are willing to pay. So if you want to do, there are many ways of doing it. Now we have decided that we want to become a graduate without giving an examination. Then how can you expect that you will be getting a good career opportunity? The problem exactly lies there. We want good results, but we don't want to take equal efforts. Right? Just by talking to someone on WhatsApp, you don't get jobs. Right? Just by playing game till 5 o'clock in the morning and then waking up again at 3 o'clock and starting playing game, eat, sleep, enjoy, repeat. That's not how the careers are made. Look at you, no? Look in the mirror. Are you of the same breed? Are you of the same league? No, you are different. Right? However, uncomfortable you would be, still at 6:30, you will sit in the front of the camera. Let it come, no problem. Because you are determined towards your future. Am I right or no? Right? So this is, when we enjoy all these things, that is how we grow. Right? And it's not only the students who are taking these efforts, it is also the teachers, who are taking these efforts, right? Correct? Why? Because we want to build a community which will definitely help our nation to grow, to evolve. So all these things, I think more youth needs to understand. However, the time will come. There are some things that you learn easily. There are some things which you learn, but it's the hard way. So maybe at the end of the day, everyone will be understanding this. It's just a matter of time. You have learned it early, you have learned it well. So the rewards for you will be greater than for the rest. Right. So keep it on, guys. I don't tell this, but I'm really proud of you all. You know, like, yeah, like I see, you know, people taking so much of efforts at this age. I get inspired. I have a family to feed. I have some commitment, for that we need to work. But looking at kids of your age, if you're doing this, terrific. I sincerely doubt myself. If I would have been in your place, would I be so courageous to take up so much of pressure and still be able to commit it? Right? So keep it up here, keep it up. I've never told this, but you guys are just amazing. Keep doing what you are doing, right? And it will be class output that you are going to get. So again, coming back to, you know, how to produce. So India needs more and more labor intensive technology, or else India will be suffering a lot. So we need to increase the level of employability, or else we will be having this kind of unemployed cartoons in the country roaming around, blaming government, and if they don't have any work, they will start riots. Riots are amazing. Huh? It is created by the unemployed people so that the employed people can't go to work. See, right? So for whom to produce? See, a capitalist will only produce for the rich. Correct? No? If you're a business entity, you will always try to make more and more things for the rich people. But government has to divert all the resources not only for the rich but also for the middle class and the poor. And last one, what provisions are to be made for economic growth? Now, what does this mean? That how you are going to use your resources, that so that you don't get the benefit only in the current year but also for the future years to come. Because a capitalist will only think about today. See, ONGC is not going to think about what after 50 years. Reliance is not going to think about what after 50 years. Adani is not going to think about what after 50 years. When they are launching 5G, they are not thinking about the creation or the destruction of environment in that. They want to make more and more profit, avail better benefits, more development. That is the capitalist nature. But the government will be working hard so that we don't develop just in the current year, but also in the future years to come. So that's the last point, how we divert our resources. So whenever there is government intervention, they will try to influence the resources in such a manner that we get the highest level of output with the minimum wastages. Yes or no? If that happens, that is what we call it as allocative efficiency in the economy. Understood this part? So we will have a quick revision of whatever we have studied today. Let me just go to the first page again. So we are on public finance, friends, divided into 4 units. We started with the first part, that is fiscal functions, role of a government in an economic system. In the economy, there are three kinds of economy. Adaptation of Adam Smith based capitalism resulted into what? Resulted into the Great Depression. This is what we understood. So depression is not that great for the economy. So what we need to do? So according to Richard Musgrave, we need to go for some additional functions, that is allocation, redistribution, and stabilization, so that the government can fulfill all its objectives. And why would government fulfill all its objectives? So that the scarce resources are allocated in the most appropriate manner. This completes our first part, that is role of government in an economic system. I hope you are very clear in this part. Okay, sounds fantastic. Let's go ahead. Next one. Give the heading in your notebook, friends. Allocation function. Manishwar, some decisions are good, some are not in this case. Allocation function. Now, when I talk about allocation function, it basically says allocating the resources in the most appropriate manner. Okay. See, in simple words, if I want to put it in front of you, everything has its place and everything must be in its place. If it is not placed properly, then it will result into market failure because of inefficiency. Take your time to digest this. If everything has its place and everything must be in its place, but if it is not in place, then it will result into inefficiency and market failure. Let's start with a small example, then we take it at an economic level. Okay. In half an hour, let's suppose you want to leave and you want to go to some particular place. But your mobile phone is showing 2% battery. Now, yesterday you had charged your phone, but you don't know after charging where did you keep that? The charger. So you are searching the drawer, you are searching all the place in the house, but you are not able to find it. And then, helper of last resort, mummy. Mummy, right? Where is the charger? Now, Indian moms are, they are not like, they will come and show you, okay, beta, I will find it for you. Here it is. No, they don't do that. First, they will taunt you beautifully. They will take revenge because there are many things which were under them. They were waiting for the right moment and the time has come. Right? And the first thing that they say, is it my phone? Your phone, no, can't be responsible. I am using your phone. What? Your charger is your responsibility. Number one dialogue. Number two, don't know how to manage charger. How will you do CA? How will I do CA? Matlab in CA, what they are doing? Every day 6:30 in the morning, teachers come and teach us how to keep charger in the safe place. So I am teaching you. Students, there are 4 places where you can allocate your charger. One is drawer. On the left hand side, you will find a corner. Please place it nicely. And then in your mind, for 108 times, you have to remember charger in the left place in the drawer. Charger in the left place in the drawer. This is what we are teaching over. Well, I don't understand the logic basically of some of the taunts, And third one is very dangerous. If I come there and if I find it, then see what I do. Like, what is the logic? We are not finding. That's why we are asking you to come and find it for us now. Right? So all these things keep on happening in Indian families. I'm very sure about it. You are also facing the same thing. Now for 15 minutes, all that drama will take place. And after that, you get your, you see your mom coming with a charger like this. Ta-da, ta-da. Right? And then you ask, Hurry, you found it. How? It was kept there on the dining table. I forgot. Right? And then I am doing it. Your spouse will not do it for you. My goodness. Now this is like next level. Right? So amazing, yeah. Indian mobs are dangerous, at times. So moral of the story is that 15 minutes of yours, if they are wasted, your complete peace of mind will be disturbed. If you're going out to meet a friend, at that time your friend will ask you what happened. Arey, don't ask me that drama, all that thing, because just I forgot the charger. See, right now we are understanding, so it is fun for us. But when it actually happens, at that time we become very irritated. Our peace of mind is disturbed. Yes or no? Imagine, students, a charger at a wrong place can disturb our peace of mind. Companies doing the wrong things, what will happen at the national level? Understood? Any which ways, we are having scarce resources in the country. Forest is scarce. In Madhya Pradesh, for finding diamonds, now we are destroying the forest. So ultimately, when we need more oxygen in the country, what we need to do? Take diamonds, put it in your nose, and die directly. No problem. Misallocation of resources, no? Danish is saying in Mumbai also they cut they cut trees for metro. Yeah, I agree. But that was only there, Danish, till there was previous government. Now the government is changed again, it will be the same case. Yeah, Ronak, most welcome. So I have made my oxygen supply very safe. I purchased this entire place so that my oxygen supply is not restricted. But please understand, friends, misallocation of resources will result into market failure. Do you agree to this? Everything has its place. Everything must be in its place. If it is not, then it will result into problem. Yes, Someshwar. Soon, Jay. Definitely. Okay. Let's go ahead. Please write down. Allocation of scarce resources in most efficient and effective manner helps the economy to attain its goals and objectives. Goals and objectives. Misallocation will result into disequilibrium. Misallocation will result into disequilibrium, which is market failure. See guys, I feel in case of perfect competition, we will not experience market failure. What's it? Because in case of perfect competition, there are large number of sellers, large number of buyers. So whatever you are trying to sell, everything will be sold out because there are large number of buyers. And there will be efficiency in allocation of resources because the price is minimal. The people or the sellers are earning only normal profits. This is what you have studied in your, what's it, 12th standard or plus two or even CA foundation. So at that time, perfect competition helps us in attaining highest level of efficiency of resources. But in reality, yes, Someshwar, you are absolutely right. In reality, you and me both know perfect competition is an idealistic concept, but not a practical concept. That's why government intervention is required. Understood? If there would have been perfect competition, then no government intervention, like laissez-faire policy. But the sellers don't have so much of maturity. The sellers are greedy. So for to attain that greed level, they will be increasing the price. They will be starting with the exploitation. So to avoid the level of exploitation, we need to have government. So how government is going to use these objectives and what are the reasons for failures? These are the two parts in allocation function that we need to understand. So the next part, friends, it has been going to two parts. Number one, why there is misallocation of resources which results into market failure, and second one would be how government is going to intervene and improve it. Sounds okay? Let's begin. Small break. Now you want or afterwards? Shri is saying. Okay. Please write down the reasons for market failure are as follows. The reasons for market failure are as follows. Number one, market power. That is monopoly power or imperfect competition. See, friends, if you are having monopoly in the market, will you try to operate at an efficient level or will you try to operate at the profit maximizing level? First one or second one? Profit maximizing, correct? Second one, guys, you are right. Now, when you want to operate at profit maximizing level at that time, will you keep a lower price or highest price possible? Higher price. Quantity availability. What you will do with the quantity availability? You will try to reduce the quantity available and try to increase the level of price in the market. Yes or no? Do you think this will attain equilibrium? Disequilibrium, no? So reason for market failure is market power. So when you are having monopoly, it will result into market power because, and ultimately market failure, because what you will do, you will try to increase the price and you will try to reduce the quantity available. Very clear in this? Fantastic. Next, second one, externalities. Externalities are nothing but side effects. So if because of us, let's suppose if any other economy is getting affected, or because of my production or consumption, someone else is getting affected, it will be called as externality. Let me give you one example here. Now, when you are attending this lecture, let's suppose if you keep your AC on, okay? So if you keep your AC on, my friends, tell me one thing. We are adding to global warming. Do you agree to this? But are we meeting in the lecture? So today we will meet from 6:30 to 9:30 and let's add some more pollution to the world. Come on, let's do it, guys. Is that the purpose of lecture? No. But can I say that is the side effect of the lecture? That is externality, right? Many people I see, today, because they have to now sit in front of the screen for extended hours, they have now got the glasses, right? Earlier we were not having that, but now because we have to look for at least 9 to 10 hours every day lecture, after that also we have mobile phone, so every time we are in the front of the screen, so it damages our eyes. Externality, no? Are we seeing into the screen today so that, come on, destroy my eyes, come on? No, not, we are not doing for that, right? So this is externality. Understood this part? Next one. Third, it is public goods. Himanshu, little sequence will change, don't worry. Public goods. Now you all understand the meaning of public goods. Public goods are also called as collective consumption goods. Collective consumption goods. So roads, railways, highways, bridges, skywalk, all these things are nothing but public goods. Now, do you think public goods have market failure? The buses that are working in your city are the most efficient one. Then why do you call it as market failure? Low cost. That means they are not able to recover the entire cost. They are running in losses. Correct. That is a way of market failure. Roads. So efficient roads we are having. Such a wonderful infrastructure we are having in the entire country. Right. Our roads are in standard better than, I would say, Canada or what say, Australia. Because in Canada, in Japan, in Australia, they put the 3D stickers of potholes on roads so that people stop, people slow down by thinking that, oh, there is a pothole, we need to slow down. In India, we don't believe in all these artificial things, okay? We believe in reality. So we have kept potholes in the roads and somewhere we have made little roads. We don't want overspeeding. That is done purposely. People criticize all these things. This is about your safety. Our roads are poor. Railways are mismanaged. Bus, that is public transport, is loss making. Do you think, students, this is how a government can survive by making so many losses? No, that's the problem. That's our point, which is called as public goods. Understood or no? Right. Next one. Imperfect information. Yes, Ronak, I 100% agree. Imperfect competition. Oh, sorry, imperfect information. Now, what is this imperfect information? If you are not having a complete information about a product, if the buyer is not giving the complete information or correct information to the seller, or seller is not giving that, so that will result into market failure. Correct, Jay. Mismatch of information between buyer and seller will result into market failure. Next, point number 5. Factor immobility. Factor here means factors of production. So friends, if factors of production are not moving or are not willing to move from one place to another, it will result into underproduction. Underproduction means it will result into market failure. Hmm. Next, sixth and last point, inequalities. Today we have inequalities in India. We have India in inequalities, right? Different types of inequalities are there, students, because of which our country is not willing, not able to grow. Okay, we are going to talk about that later on in redistribution function. For the time being, there is inequality in the country which results into market failure. This much is sufficient. So these are the 6 points, students, that you need to remember as far as reasons for market failure are concerned. So if the question says in your examination, reasons for market failure, please write down these points. Okay. Next. Now these are the problems. Now let's talk about the solution. Please write down. Government will use the following allocative instruments for efficient resource allocation. Government will use the following allocative instruments for efficient resource allocation. Someshwar, they will tell you in the question, write only the points. So in that case, you will have to just write the head points. If they don't tell you anything, if they just write what are the reasons, at that time you need to explain. Okay, so don't worry about it, but it is just 2 to 3 lines in your own words in English. That's it. Yes, Ankita, sure. The inefficiency in public goods which is there, Ankita, that results into market failure. Let's go now ahead. One by one. What are the solution which is advised by the government? First one. Government will produce all economic goods. in bracket, if you want to write the meaning for economic good, write it goods for mass consumption. Water supply, roads, street light, public parks. Do you think private entrepreneurs are interested in manufacturing all these things? Why? Because people don't pay for it. So if you give this to public sector, sorry, if you give this to private sector will start looting only. They will charge a very high price, which might not be affordable for everyone, right? So that results into the problem. Next, second point. Government can give incentives and disincentives. Incentives and disincentives. In the bracket, you can write down the meaning, friends. Incentives means benefits or subsidies. Disincentive means taxes or penalty. Taxes or penalty. Okay. So what will government do now? Government will try to provide incentives for them who are trying to bring efficiency in the economy, and any organization which are trying to create inefficiency in the economy, they will be penalized. Okay, so I'll give you one example. You have to tell me whether government will incentivize them, I, or provide them with disincentives. In the chat box, you can put I or D. Okay, let's take one example. If Khushi madam is running an NGO, so incentives for her or disincentives for her from the government? You all are saying she should be provided with incentives, right? Subsidies must be provided, right, for the betterment or the welfare of the organ, or for the economy, right? Okay, grants must be given, correct, Kushal? At the same time, students, let's suppose I'll give you one more example. Indian Tobacco Company, ITC, is launching new cigarettes. Disincentives. Do you understand now incentives and disincentives? Right? So see, disincentives providing is important, but providing the incentives are equally important. If you want to start your own entrepreneurship journey, and at that time government stands by you, you will see, you will feel so confident, right? Because when you start that journey, students, no one will congratulate you, no one will come to support you, everyone will come to judge you. Maybe you will not be able to relate to what I am saying today, but from observation I'm sure you can see this. When you post, I started a new job at Deloitte on Facebook, on Instagram, or something like that, people will like, comment, congratulations, congratulations. You tell them, I have started a new business, please do support. Only you will support yourself. Check it. Go on Facebook, go on Instagram, check a profile of a person who was earlier doing job, now doing business, and just check the likes and comments that that person gets when they post for businesses. You will understand what I'm saying. And when that person becomes successful, everyone would try to become friend. But just in case if that doesn't work out, the same people would say, I told you, right? This will not work. Are you understanding? So the world works like that. You cannot criticize this, you cannot get influenced by this. So all these things have to happen. We just need to avoid and move ahead in life. Sounds okay to all of you, right? You must have experienced, not all of you, but some of you have definitely experienced this kind of feeling when you started the chartered accountancy journey. It's very difficult. Don't do. Your life will be ruined on so much things. You clearing CA foundation was a slap on their faces. You know why they discourage? Why they discourage, you know? Because if you become successful, you will be out of their reach and league. Their community will be the loser community, will lose one more loser. They don't want that to happen. Don't fall for all these things. Mm. So once you become successful, they will say, this boy, this girl, I knew, right? I never doubted the potential. Never doubted the potential, right? So these things keep on happening, okay? So do not worry about it. Keep moving ahead. Even government will do that by providing you incentives. Next one, point number 3. Government can influence resource allocation through its policies. Government has made various kinds of policies, students, mergers and acquisition policies. Then they have made one more thing, and that is about competition policy, right? So all these policies are made so that we don't have inefficiency in resource allocation. Hmm. I'm looking at the messages which are sent. Manu, that's correct. Rishabh, that's right. Next, point number 4. Legal and administrative framework. Legal and administrative framework. What is legal and administrative framework, friends? Make law, put it under law, make sections for that. If people try to exploit, take legal action against them. So that is legal and administrative framework. Very clear in this part. that completes our entire allocation function, right? So far we have completed role of government in an economic system. We have also completed allocation function. Can we go ahead with the redistribution function? Okay. So please write down, friends, heading number 2, redistribution function. Yes, Someshwar. Among merit goods are goods which are good for the society. Education, healthcare are merit goods. Redistribution function. I personally call it as Robin Hood function. You must have seen, you must have heard about Robin Hood story in your childhood, right? Robin Hood was a person in a particular village. Now the villagers were exploited by the rich community. So what would Robin Hood do? Steal it from the rich and give it to all the poor. Isn't the same thing done by government today in the form of taxes and subsidies? Stealing it from the rich, we call it as tax, and then giving it to the poor class, right? So that is nothing but redistribution function. Now, is it right or wrong? That's a different story. Okay. Someshwar has pointed out correctly, but the corrupt politicians are the middlemen. Well, I agree to that. But things will become better now. I'm hoping so. With so much of digitalization coming in, when the rural areas becomes aware, when they become educated, at that time I think things will be different. Please write down now. The meaning of redistribution function, friends, we are going to write first. Redistribution function is concerned with adjustment of distribution of income and wealth to ensure fairness, justice, and equity in the economy. Himanshu, unfortunately, that's the harsh reality. Himanshu is asking a very good question. But sir, when they become educated, they leave that area. Because they run for they go for looking out for opportunities rather than creating the opportunities for everyone then and there itself. Right? People complain, we leave India and go abroad because there are more opportunities in abroad. What if you stay in India and create an opportunities for the people who are younger to you, so that they don't have to leave the country in search of opportunities, because they will find the equal opportunities in India itself, right? So if you know there are lack of opportunities, create one, right? Himanshu, I hope that works. But it should be effective even if major of it's going to politicians. That's right, Sindhu. For that, we will have to see India is a very emotional country, but also a greedy one. Sindhu has pointed out very nicely, a person or a family which is having a very rich background with too much of land and assets, still they take the advantage from rationing shops. So government has to work very hard in order to find out that, rationing shops, we have to actually link that ration card with the bank account. If your bank account shows the average movement of, let's suppose, for example, I'm saying, okay, 2.5 lakh rupees annually, that means automatically you are not eligible for that. Sai Pranit, you have pointed out a very political point. You are saying reservation system is a big hindrance. Well, I agree to that, but trust me, no government will ever dare to remove that from India. Because any government rules out reservation, they will collapse, that is true, but they will never ever able to create their own government again. Right? There was a time in our country where we used to fight that, these people are saying us lower caste. This is wrong. Today people are fighting. How dare you call me upper caste? I am from lower caste. I want to remain there. Right? People are fighting for reservation today. Cycle. Next. So redistribution function is concerned with what, friends? If you read this carefully, it's a very nice thing written here. With adjustment of distribution of income. So it is adjustment of income and wealth in order to ensure what? Fairness, justice, and equity. Now, students, if you see, I have highlighted more of an equity rather than equality. Now, what's the difference between equality and equity? Let me tell you that. I'll give you two examples, okay? Person A has annual income of only 60,000 rupees. Person B has an annual income of 80,000 rupees. Now, government says we should be providing benefit to the poor. So what government does? Provides 40,000 to Mr. A, 40,000 to Mr. B. This is equality. Equity means 40,000 to person A and 20,000 to person B. This is equity. Which one is more better according to you? Understood the difference between equality and equity, right? By going for equity, we give justice to the taxpayers' money. And look at this, no, government spends less in this case. Here, government is spending more. This is not required. This is wrong. So government should go for equity. Understood this? That is what redistribution function exactly highlights. Now, in India, the question is, do we have inequality? Well, we do. Yeah, Revati, I'll do that. Just give me 1 second, students. Equity is C. If I give 40,000 to person A, this person will have 1 lakh. 40,000 to person B, this person will have 1,20,000, right? Revati? But equity says bring them on the common ground. 40,000 if I give it to person A, 1 lakh rupees person A will be having. 20,000 I give it to person B. Again, person B is having 1 lakh rupees. So it brings equality when you give equity. When you try to treat them equally, equality will bring inequality. Equality brings inequality. Equity brings equality. Are you getting this? So, funny English word, when you toggle with them, just by saying the statement, it doesn't make any sense. But when you actually see this, that time, it is like this. Okay, understood. Because in India, the equality concept is very weird. Yes or no? See, when we talk about equality in our country, what do we do? So you have traveled in trains, right? So one bogie we have is luggage. Okay. Second bogie we have, that is physically challenged. And third bogie we have is females, ladies. What are you comparing females with? Is this the definition of equality? Because in India, we think, when you give one bogie to females, that means they are equal to male. In India, we feel some reservation on seats if we keep in the bus for females, that will create equality in the country. Females, I want to ask you, your legs are much more weaker than the males, is it? Why do you need special seats then? This is not how equality can be promoted in the country. In India, there are two children in the same family, friends, one boy and one girl. Boy is sent to English medium school and girl is sent to a regional language school, a municipal school. Why? Because girl is not going to pay them back. So why to spend money on that? This is what we call equality. Hmm? Any female can come out and break her own nose for a sake of free pizza. Is this what we call it as equality? On the street, any girl can catch a collar of a taxi driver and start hitting on the face. Is this what we call it as equality in the country? Imagine if happening this vice versa. What would have happened? I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say. If you look at the flip side, no, males should be asking for equality. Please give us the same preference like you are giving to the females. So the answer here is, it is not about treating females equally to males, because females are already much superior than males. And we know that. It's just that by giving them a special seat, don't try to prove it. Give them equal opportunity since childhood. Don't treat them differently, just like physically challenged person. Or for that matter, even luggage. Right? This is gender disparity. Now in Tamil Nadu, bus fare is free of cost for all the females. Delhi also did the same thing, right? Why? Also in Jaipur, Himanshu is saying, my goodness. But still, it is a society where women are afraid of men, right? Shweta is saying this. Of course, I agree with that. There is only one solution. Choose your partners wisely. Akshay, I completely agree with that. Right. And whatever you are saying, it is not at all wrong. Okay. It is 100% right. The level of importance that Indian families give to males. Okay. And it has to start from where? It has to start from our own family, isn't it? We have only created this type of society. Manvi, we need to, if you are so successful, in life, then all these all these things will not matter. Let me tell you that. If you are strong and independent, then you get all the rights in the family. You decide for the family. Your family doesn't decide for you. Be it your career, be it your marriage, be it anything. If you are paying for everything, that's why I tell you, always money is solution to everything. I feel at times, right? Man? Hmm? So think about it. Girls and boys aren't even allowed to interact with each other. Where is it true? In schools? Not in Pondicherry. Oh my goodness. Okay. So in some schools there is a had this thing in college. My goodness, amazing. This is what we need to change. Like I don't know what kind of rule is this. Like why? Because they think the boys are like from very inferior category or what. That's why they don't allow girls to interact with them, is it? Hmm? Trust issues. Oh my goodness. Right. So this is how things are working, and ultimately it is you and me who will have to change this, right? Mm. It's all about in the mind here, man. My wife is saying there can be gay or lesbians also, no? So now what? Stop talking in the entire humanity. Don't talk to each other only. Right? That's true, but I don't know. Like things will have to change. We need to bring in more equality in the country. Thank you. Not only that, friends, this is just one thing. Okay, Rahul, I was seriously not aware about it. Our parents are called if we speak to opposite gender. Oh my goodness. Is it really happening in our country? I'm coming across something for the first time in my life. I'm telling you, I'm not sure about it. Just because you talk, you are called, your parents have to be called. Okay. Mumbai is different. Yeah, I agree, Sindhu. Yeah, 100%. But I never thought Tamil Nadu will be having any place like that. In Pondicherry, what says Someshwar? Is it like this? No, no, in Pondicherry, it's not like that. So in some part of the country, it happens. But ultimately we need to change. Hyderabad is the same. My goodness. Chennai is very cool, I think. Okay. Okay, Someshwar. Kerala also has no problem. Some religious places and school. Okay. In also Chennai, Shri is saying, sir, I am from Chennai. So in Chennai also some places it is happening. So if we talk about inequality, the lecture will be insufficient. Let me tell you. It is such a huge topic that we can go on and on and on. Because I've just touched one chord. and if I touch the second one, then all your, heartbroken stories will come out. Huh? Second one is caste system. When you want to go in a college, and just because you belong to general category, you are penalized. Manvi has highlighted a very brilliant point. Okay, thank God, sir, we don't have reservation in CA. And look at what Manu is saying. I got 96, but no government college. Why? Open category, no? Lakshay is also having the same thing. Haripriya also shares the same thing. 96 percentage. My goodness. This is my percentage for 2 years. Okay. But still not getting college, my goodness. My admission cancelled in BCom because of caste. Government jobs also the same. Correct, Mahesh. Correct, Kavya. So, all of us are having so much of stories to share when it comes to caste system. And this is happening in jobs, this is happening in education, this is happening in everywhere. Right? When we talk about companies entering into our country, now next kind of discrimination will be rural urban divide. So you remember the statement, right? I told you there is no inequality in India. India is in inequality. That's the proof. And these are just few examples I am sharing with you. But we can go on and on and on and on. And you have also so many, more than me today. I'm feeling like I am taking knowledge from you. I'm not giving knowledge to you. I'm absorbing all the knowledge. I've got so many examples, you won't believe. I'm going to share in the future batches, especially that parents are called because you talk. Reservation system. I'm going to share your example, Kavya, if you permit. Kavya scored 97%, but she couldn't get into the college because the cutoff was 97.1. However, people who are from the other categories, they were getting easily admitted even if they have scored 80%. Now, what is Kavya's mistake here? What is Lakshay's mistake here? Right? Even in 60s, Rishabh is saying. Ashraya, it hurts a lot when I see your messages like this. 97.5 after earning so much, after getting so many marks, still we have to face this. Does caste differentiate brains? All have the same potential. I agree. And this is just an excuse, caste and everything. It's just an excuse today. But I hope things do change. And that is why we are working for redistribution function. That's why Chartered Accountancy has introduced this concept, that we need to redistribute, we need to reallocate this kind of caste system, this kind of gender inequality. Do you think any other course talks so freely about the gender equality in the country? Any other course will dare to talk about the reservation system? But we have to borrow this all from Britishers, from Americans in order to understand and implement in our country. That's redistribution function. So, my dear friends, in redistribution function, we are going to divide this into two parts. The answer will be divided into two parts now. First part is the government's aims and objectives, that why redistribution function is required. The other one would be, what are the tools that we are using for redistribution function? Understanding this? Yeah. And let me tell you one more thing. If I am ever in power in life where I can change the situation that you are discussing, I will definitely do. Okay, so that you have experienced something that future generation should not be experiencing the same. Right? Just 1 minute. रख के ही जाना। हाँ मैं रहेगा। Bye. 3 buses, but the college are there. Correct, Kavya, I agree. So if I ever become education minister, I am definitely going to take care of all these things. Okay. I don't know. Maybe if sometime clicks, if you check on my Instagram, bio also, I've written minister loading. Right. So who knows which party? I don't know. I don't support any. I'm very much neutral. I believe in positive science. I'm neutral between ends. Because, more than agreeing with all the parties, I disagree with all the parties. Jai economics we will form. Correct. So something we will do. Let's see what can be done. Yeah, Sanskar, correct. I I hate politics, Someshwar. But trust me, when I will not become a politician. I will become a leader. Okay, there is a huge difference between these two. All right, let's go ahead, friends. Please write down redistribution function of government aims at redistribution function of government aims at. Now, one by one, we are going to understand all the points, friends. But tell me one thing. We are talking about redistribution, right? Now, this is especially for males. I'll just take 1 minute to talk about this. All the male students here. Do you know how to cook food? Do you know the laundry? Do you know how to do mopping, sweeping, cleaning utensils? Do you do that at home? Considering you don't have a house help. Never ever expect this from your wife. Wife is not maid. Okay. You have to treat everyone equally. My wife was going right now for her gym. She said, make food, I will come and eat. Like make breakfast, I'll come and eat. Now my lecture ends at 9:30. Okay, we have doubt solving at till 9:45. She'll be back at around 10:30, 11. Till then the breakfast will be ready. That doesn't make me less of a man. Okay. Now, if that after that, if I'm making dinner or lunch, or let's suppose if I sweep, if I do the cleaning part, which we share it, of course. It's not about me, okay? It's not about me. I'm not saying that what I am doing, but till date, I have not asked my grandmother, my mother, or my wife after coming, after coming from office to home. I have never asked anyone, any of the females in my family, can you please give me a glass of water? That is where the inequality starts. Your dad is sitting, your mom is sitting, and you ask your mom to give you a glass of water. This is where the discrimination starts. A son and a daughter is sitting, but the mother will say, hey, you come and help me in the kitchen, to the daughter. That is where the discrimination, the inequality starts. Please understand. After, in some cases, I feel so bad, in case of some, after marriages, girls have to quit their career. This is where the inequality starts. Bangladesh GDP is more than India's per capita. Bangladesh per capita is more than India's per capita. I've told you this earlier. No? You know the reason behind that? Bangladesh. Bangladesh, underdeveloped country. GDP per capita greater than India's GDP per capita. Why? 94% of the females in Bangladesh are working. In India, it is less than 4%. Are you understanding what I'm saying? We have a concept of housewife. Why not house husband? See, if I say house husband, you will start laughing. How can husband be husband? Why? Right? So think about it. And next time, don't, you should not be part of any kind of inequality. That is what I mean to say. What you have gone through, let not anyone else go through in life. Right? Things have been changing in the recent times. Yeah, I want things to change. The biggest discrimination is dowry. I agree. Dowry should be, I feel it is one of the most brutal crimes. Dowry. Correct, Ankita. Still happening, and you should not be supporting. I'm very sure, once we get educated, we will not be accepting or giving dowry. One of my very close friend is from UP. Should I share this story with you? Okay. Very close friend, okay, from UP. Now, this friend of mine was getting married. This is like 3 years back, maybe. Yeah. So have you taken dowry? Arey, baba, baba. No, 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 never ever in my life, baba. I cannot even imagine. Okay, my wife will, take a rope and hang me ulta. Okay, you should have asked her only this question. Okay. So in my friend's family, the girl side family members, they were saying like this: we'll give gold to the girl, this much amount of gold will be given to the boy, and then we will give 5 lakh rupees. That is maximum we can afford. And I was standing there, okay? And I looked at my friend, I said, what is this, boy? He said, I don't know, I was not aware about it. I have never demanded like this. Don't consider me as wrong. This is like parents are discussing. I said, right now you have to choose. Either I stay here, and if you want me to stay here, this should go. You will not be taking a single penny. Okay. And if you accept that, then I am not coming back. You decide what you want. I am very fortunate person, students. I have few people in life who treat me with heavy respect. He is one of them. He said, I don't want anything. I don't want gold. I don't want money. I don't want anything. It's okay if you don't give anything to the girl also. No, I don't need it. Who wears gold any which ways nowadays? You know, if you are wearing, you are not Bappy Larry, to show off. Simple ornaments we wear nowadays. Who are we, Maharaja or what? Only in lockers it is kept. Friends, relative, 10 crores dowry. Heart attack I'll get. Never, ever, ever. Please support this nonsense here. This has been the first time I have been interacting with you all. 100 pounds of gold. This is all nonsense, but please stay away from all these nonsense, okay? Never take or give dowry. Please try to change this custom. It starts from you, okay? Never leave your career for anyone else. Please take care of this. I cannot speak much on this. Please understand the constraints, but if possible, don't do all these things. Yeah, definitely, Hariharan. I think so. So, this has to stop. This is where the equality starts, no? Bride's family giving dowry as prestige issue. It should stop. Correct, Shriya. Some parents won't understand. We'll make them understand. Don't worry. Right? I'm not taking anyone's name because this is something personal which you have shared with me. So I don't want to who is saying what. Okay. Now that makes my aim very clear. Do you think there should be a strong law against dowry? I think 2, 3 people should be caught and put in life imprisonment. Once we do that, everyone will start opposing it. It's a culture or a trend we should keep, right? Parents tell they are gifting. There is nothing called as all this nonsense, okay? I don't remember my parents have gifted anything to my wife or my in-laws have gifted anything to me. We don't do all these things. We meet our in-laws or my parents, we just say, don't do all this drama, Baba. We don't need your money. You have done enough for us. Now it's our turn. So similar thing I'm expecting from you also, right? Don't do all these things here. Like, it's very disturbing, whatever you are writing. Right? If you want, we can discuss this after on, in the doubt solving part also. I'll keep that for the later one. I will unmute you if you want to talk about it also. Yeah. It's amazing, but I'm really impressed by your thought process. Even by surrounded with so much of nonsense and stupidity, you still stand apart. That is what I like about you. Keep it up, guys. Hmm. So redistribution function of government aims at number one, equitable distribution of societal output. Now, what is equitable distribution of societal output? One restaurant in Chennai, the food arrives. A 5-year-old or a 6-year-old tastes the food and says, "Chah, I don't like it." The parents say, "Hey, you waiter, take it back, throw it, give me another one." Some 60 kilometers from Chennai in a rural area, there is a kid, 5-year-old, waiting for his dad to come back with a hope that his dad might bring food today to eat. In one part of our country, we are throwing food. In another part of our country, we are wasting food. One part of our country takes a shower for half an hour. Another part of our country has to walk for half an hour to get one bucket of water so that their family can drink it. This is inequality in distribution of society's output. There should be equitable distribution of societal output so that there is no wastages and no shortfall. Very clear in first point. Point number two, please write down. Well-being of deprived section of society. Deprived means backward, the ones who are not having the benefit. Next one, providing equality in income, wealth, and opportunities. From Coimbatore, people should not shift to Bangalore in search of opportunities. Opportunities should come to Coimbatore, no? When JK sir started a branch in Coimbatore, I was very happy. Then the news came, we have started a branch in Hubli, and now we also have a branch in Mysore. Friends, let me tell you very honestly, when we enter into this two-tier city, okay, or three-tier city for that matter, not the metropolitan, but if we enter into these cities, that is where the need of real education is, the quality education is. Am I right or no? You have seen your school education, you have seen your college education also. Now you are seeing JK Shah classes education. I don't know if you find any difference or no. Okay, but this is just my assumption that the course content that we try to deliver by elaborating everything so that it fits in your mind. I wish since childhood, if schools also do the same thing, it will be so much interesting. When I was yesterday looking on, I was watching YouTube video of myself actually. And I take notes. Did I make any mistake while speaking? Where did I do wrong or what I should have improved in my communication. That is how I, and when I look at myself, I think like this, I wish some teacher would have taught me like this. I would have understood things better. Because my teachers always taught me economics how, I will tell you. Stand up, page number 98, start reading. And I start reading. Understood, no? Sit. Next boy, okay, stand up, start reading the next paragraph. Mark the answer this much you have to buy it. Right? This is not education, this is reading. Still in our school is happening. I know, yeah. This is disturbing, that's why I don't support all these things. Thank you, Revati. Yes, Afra, thank you. Right? Yes, Nikhil, I agree. Point number 4. So, you should not be moving from one place to another. The opportunities should come there. That is what I mean to say. So, when JKSC is moving to all these places, I think, people or students community need not travel to Mumbai or Bangalore or Chennai for that matter for quality education. Institute should move to the students, right? Is that making sense? Right? Same corporate should also understand, no? I'm not saying open your head office in Hubli, but small offices you can develop, no? I don't know why corporates are not doing that, but in the future maybe they'll do it. Next one, security for people who have hardships. Hardships means tough time to survive, especially the daily wage laborers. So they should be given some basic security. And last one, students, ensuring minimal standard of living. Minimal standard of living means no one should die because of hunger. At least everyone should have food to eat. Thank you, Sakshi. So this is redistribution function of government objectives. Okay, these are the objectives of redistribution function. Now the question is, how is government going to attain that? So please write down. Government can use the following tools of redistribution function. So now how is government going to bring equality in the country? That we need to understand. Now students, these points are going to be very important because these are going to be present in our unit number 3 as well as unit number 4. Okay, so do one thing, just put a star mark here. So when I talk to you in the unit 3 or unit 4, at that time I will give you reference of this particular answer. That you remember we had put a star mark. So you need to clearly understand, oh, this is the same answer. So this is a repetitive question. Again in unit 3 and unit 4 it will be asked. Okay. So please write down here point number 1. Progressive direct taxes. Progressive direct taxes. What do you mean by progressive direct taxes? Higher taxes for the rich, lower taxes for the poor. Okay, please write down in the bracket. I'll be just back in a minute. Higher taxes for the rich and lower taxes for the poor. Done, friends? Higher taxes. Now that means the people, this is income elastic tax. So basically, people with higher income group will be charged a higher level of tax as compared to the poor category. Point number 2, differential indirect taxes. The meaning of differential indirect taxes is higher tax on luxurious goods and lower tax on necessities, or zero taxes on necessities, so that the poor people can easily afford the necessities and we can take more money from the rich category when they are buying the luxurious goods. This is what exactly happens in India also, right? Next, third one, poverty alleviation program. Look at the spelling of alleviation properly. And why I'm asking you to write the spelling by looking at it here, because many students make a mistake of writing elevation as ELEVATION. That means increasing. So we are not running poverty increasing program, it is poverty removal program, okay? But this program is such an amazing program, I must tell you, it works wonders in our country. This has been the most successful program of our nation ever, poverty alleviation program. Whichever politicians have committed poverty alleviation program, their poverty is gone. They are no longer poor. They have become ultra rich, right? So if you want to adopt this program and put away poverty from your life, you have to become minister and launch this program. Okay, but that's not the reason why I want to become a minister. My purpose is different. This is just for the sake of example. Okay, so poverty alleviation program. Point number 4, employment reservation and unemployment compensation. Employment reservation and unemployment compensation. Students, here I am talking about reservation if you observe. Well, I'm not talking about caste based reservation. Here I am highlighting income based reservation, that poor people in the country should get first preference. So you check their income background and don't give 100% reservation. Okay. Maybe 10% of the total jobs will be given on priority if they are having talent to the poor people. If they are having talent is the most important statement. Understood this? Right? Yes, I we can do that. The unemployment compensation, I think it is self-explanatory. People who are unemployed will be getting a minimal amount so that they can travel and apply for jobs and give interviews. Next one, point number 5. Families below poverty line. Families below poverty line be provided with monetary and non-monetary aid. Thank you, Someshwar. Families below poverty line be provided with monetary and non-monetary aid. Are you aware about PDS, public distribution system, rationing shops? Yeah, you are very good. So, the people who are below poverty line, they get food grains at a very subsidized rate, highly subsidized rate in these shops. So that is non-monetary aid. But if, let's suppose, if a person is poor and not able to run his or her house also, then government will be giving a specific amount directly into your bank account so that you can at least buy food for yourself. Right? I did my 12th standard. Oh, amazing, yeah. That's amazing. 12th standard PBS project. Next, point number 6. Ensuring health and well-being. What is ensuring health and well-being? See, just because people are poor doesn't mean they are open for exploitation, right? Just because people are poor, that doesn't mean that they should be treated like slaves. So there should not be any exploitation. You should ensure your health as well as well-being. That will be protected by whom? Protected by government, right? Correct, Uttara, I agree. Next, special schemes for backward region. Friends, at in the national level, we have implemented a scheme. It is, Ghar Ghar Shauchalaya. That is how they call it as. Now, the meaning of Ghar Ghar Shauchalaya, it is toilet in every house, right? So for that, government will be giving you funding. India is the only country in the world, friends. We have to teach people where to do pee pee chi chi. People go to farm on railway tracks, on corners of the road. So government says, make one toilet, I will give money to you, Baba. Do it at home. Don't roam outside with that dabba in your hand, right? So special scheme, these kinds of scheme will be launched for the backward regions especially. Last point, students, my personal favorite, enhancing employability. Enhancing employability. Don't create employment, make them employable. Now, as a chartered accountant, do you feel, guys, any time that you will search for employment? No, never. Employment will be in search of you. You are becoming employable. You will not go and complain to government. Hey, government, please give me employment. No, please give me job, or else I'll go on a hunger strike. Huh? Because we know if we don't get job, we are in a position to create jobs. Right? So I hope that makes sense to all of you. That completes our allocation function and redistribution function. We are left with one function, that is stabilization function, that we shall be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow again we have lecture, right? Yeah. So fantastic. Every day if we are having lecture, then our portion will be smoothly done. So I'm very happy about it. Daily we are having. Amazing. I'm very happy about that. I don't know about you. Okay. So now if you are having doubts, friends, you can wait, or else we are done for the day. All right. So thank you so much, guys. All right. It was a fantastic session. I must say this. Fantastic session because of you all, your the answers that you gave were truly amazing today. Right. Manvi, I think we will need Let me just calculate in my mind. Okay, we are left with chapter number 2 and chapter number 4, is it? So another 10 lectures or so, if I get 3 hours, right? And the numerical part. Differential indirect taxes. Yeah, Jay, you have told me that also. I'll tell you. It is higher taxes on the luxurious product and lower taxes on the raw materials. You want me to do that, Revati? Then I'll do it. Thank you, Akash. Okay, I'll just, if you have doubts, you can start pointing out. I'll just unmute you if you want, and then we can discuss. Okay, I'll just stop the recording.